So Gothic did lose to NEATO last time around playing purple stake. I think NEATO is really good at those middle stakes, you know, your purple through your blacks. And I think Gothic recognizes that, so is immediately going to take NEATO to that gold stake. Oh, is NEATO that far behind? Let me refresh the page real quick. Thank you for the follow. But NEATO, yellow deck, making it a little bit easier, getting that econ early. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. The one thing I'll say is in multiplayer Balatros, things that can get desynced in a seed, on a seeded run, in this multiplayer game is the Joker tags. So depending on how you open packs, depending on what happens with like Riff Raff and Judgment, you can have some weird things happen where I get a perishable rental version, you get a clean version. And that does matter a lot in the gold stakes, but we'll see how that pans out. NEATO here debating on whether to take the red card. And I get this, because red card in normal single player is very, very good. It helps you just live. I think if I'm NEATO, I check the Buffoon pack, but I am interested in the red card. Or maybe we ride the bus through the first couple antes while you build economy. NEATO deciding to just go with the perishable. What version is the heart one? Is it lustful? Whatever. Whatever, Joker. You know, the heart Joker gives you three mult per heart. Lusty. It is lusty. So NEATO is playing, like, this is a tendency I have on multiplayer, is to not even worry about anything that's really that good in single player that takes time to scale, and just get stuff that gives me mult now, and hopefully I can build economy and get that really big number type build. And it seems like both the players are going for that, because if you're playing a normal gold stake single player run, immediately there you grab bus, you grab red card, and you're off and running. But that kind of plus mult is not going to make a huge difference in the multiplayer rounds. So instead, they went for the short term, just help me win the early antes, and I'm hoping to find much better in the future. The thing is, you know, the question is that the right play? Or should you have something that kind of just helps you beat those early small and big blinds like a red card, and then you have other things you're using to focus on for the big number, quote unquote, for PvP? It'll be interesting. Thank you, GGPs, for the cool setup. Trust me, the setup is going to look so insane once we get the overlay done. The stuff that Gabe has been doing, Vapor Gabe, who made the trailer, if you saw how insane that trailer was, apply that same kind of level of cool to what he is doing for the overlay. Wasn't able to get in time for this game, and we have to test it out, but hopefully we have it for tomorrow, if not, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. But for now, we have the classic, you know, Major League Balatro look. Oh yeah, do not look at Gothic. He switches, he goes all British on you and switches the played in the discard button. It's impossible. Thank you, jeez. You saw NEATO there and Gothic doing almost the same exact thing, where they didn't want to use too many hearts in that big blind because they wanted to have their hearts for the boss blind in Ante 1, which totally understandable. If NEATO can just get like a pair of 10s here, they can get out. Well, they got a full house, so all good there. Gothic here deciding on what to do. Interesting. Maybe going to sacrifice a heart to make several spades just to get some of that deck manipulation, or is just going to go with a Wild King, which I do think is the slightly better version. Oh, YouTube is stuck buffering? Is anyone else having that problem on YouTube? I'm going to check it really quick. I do like the play by Gothic to pick up the delayed gratification. Yes, it's only $4. But if you can find one more good Joker, you can utilize it. Definitely not going to be able to utilize it here in the boss blind if they want to survive. Though I do think there's a little bit of credence. YouTube is good for me. No, it's good? All right. Thank you. I know YouTube's actually been having some outage problems, so it could be just that. I always have a love-hate relationship with delayed because it's pretty hard to use on Gold Stake, and the reward isn't that good on Gold Stake, the $4. So I don't know. It feels like specifically for Gold Stake, you need a little bit more delayed gratification to be doing it. Now, can Gothic find the final? Oh, Gothic was really trying there. Almost. Is that gonna be enough? That's not enough. That's not enough. NEATO finding a rental perishable mail and rebate. The thing is, you take it. Mailed and rebate is still good. Perishable and rental. You just got to find, one of that card to already be in the plus of $2. And if you find multiple, it's insane. Is Gothic gonna throw life here? No. Okay. I thought Gothic maybe was just like, whatever, give me my $8, $4 for the loss of life, $4 for the delayed, but no. Went ahead, made sure they could beat the blind. They get an easy, nice sun card here. How did NEATO get so much money going into the big blind? I guess is my question. I guess Gothic just spent more on the going into the boss blind than NEATO did. See, even as a caster, I cannot catch everything on both screens. Spoiler, the overlay is definitely going to help there. There is a boss blind in Ante 1, Rat. And then going forward after that, you do not have any more boss blinds. They're all PvP. Just for Ante 1. Okay, so Gothic bought the telescoped. Interesting. That is the difference. Thank you so much. That is really interesting because they are going to be playing a lot of flushes, and Gothic maybe get some early lives from having that, but being so far behind on the economy is definitely going to affect things. Now, is that enough? I think that is. Yes. And now, I mean, this is where having the economy over Gothic, despite not having the telescope and maybe the flush levels, is huge. Because NEATO's going to be able to afford 2 spectral packs without even having to think about it. Though, NEATO is thinking about the Troubadour. Troubadour, a little bit more powerful in multiplayer because you're looking for usually like one big hand in PvP. So losing one hand but having 2 hand sizes is nice. The thing is, Troubadour's brutal on gold stakes. It's making it black deck with 4 Joker slots when you think about it. You're basically turning yourself into a painted black deck combo. It's just hard. Jameson, thank you so much for your subscription. If you do subscribe while we're casting, we'll try and do a wheel spin after. I will be writing down the names of everyone who subscribes so we can catch you at some point. And now, if I'm Gothic, do you sell delay just to get the interest money? Because, I mean, you have... Excuse me, you have mail and rebate. So, you know how I said it was really great for NEATO to have economy? Very interesting that a Wraith is there. With $40 on gold stake, no way can NEATO justify the Wraith. Gothic may be able to justify the Wraith because he's not going to have as much money if he opens up that Spectral. So in a weird way, not having more money is going to allow Gothic to make that play. And if it works out, it could be hugely beneficial for him. However, there's a good chance it doesn't, and this econ just really snowballs for NEATO. Thank you so much, Jeff, for the Prime. We'll get you a wheel spin as well. We also are going to do a prediction for this game. So we've seen a little bit from both competitors in the first couple antes. Who do you think takes it? Who wins? NEATO, Gothic. You will have 5 minutes to bet your juicy channel points, or predict, not bet, predict your juicy channel points. But yeah, NEATO in a really good position with this money. I didn't see what was in the other Spectral had Immolate. Okay. And I assume, yeah, they're both going to use that Immolate. Plus, there's not a lot of hearts there. It's a game prediction. Game prediction. Who wins the hair? I mean, yeah, I don't mind what Gothic's got going on. So this Gothic Wraith here, I can't imagine. I also can't imagine that he risks the sigil. Again, difference between multiplayer and single player. Single player, 100% I use the blue seal. In multiplayer, I'm actually going for purple because I want the deck manipulation. I want to build into the flush 5. And one key here is Gothic kept that sun card going into PvP, which means they're going to be able to make a flush house. And we'll see if that's where Gothic takes it. Oh, Gothic's up.
How was your first 5 rounds?
Okay, we're gonna have to switch. We're gonna go with NEATO's audio.
We got here.
Yeah, NEATO took purple.
How's your
I
first
lean
5
NEATO.
rounds?
What NEATO?
It's been going, you know. It's nothing like crazy, but also we're staying alive, which is good. That's all we need.
So Gothic playing a flush there. Interesting that Gothic didn't go for the flush house. How many levels does Gothic have in flush? I don't think it's better than flush house at the moment. Curious. I personally, if I was Gothic, I would have went with, if I'm keeping in hand, I'm doing it for a reason. But it looks like it's not going to matter too much.
I'm just in that place of like, how much do I want to worry about my economy? How much do I worry about my score?
Exactly.
How much do I worry about all the other things?
Right, right.
Yeah, plus they have,
Whenever
especially on
choosing
NEATO's
about
side, the
the first
2 pairs
PvP,
of
but At the
Jokers.
same time, it can be telling, especially in Gold Stake. It could get
For
rough
sure.
pretty fast.
And Gothic quickly kind of climbing and equaling out the econ game here. I think Gothic was able to secure 1 extra mail-in rebate that NEATO was
I definitely
not.
think you have this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Barely.
Gothic's
Oh,
gonna take that first PvP.
Uh,
And now
made a
they're
mistake, but
their
it's
loss
also
is
a harmful
gone.
one. All right, I'll see you in a few rounds.
I see it.
Dusk is like ever so slightly interesting. We're also seeing a little bit of a voucher differentiation because Gothic took Telescope already. Unfortunately for Gothic, he gets Magic Trick, which is probably not the voucher you wanted to see as kind of your replacement for a second Telescope. Your stream on YouTube is not working, so I'm getting... It's working fine for me on YouTube. I don't know why some people are having issues with the YouTube stream. It looks completely fine on my end. And then a bunch of YouTube chatters every time I say this. Yeah, if you're having issues with the stream on YouTube, it's because YouTube is having issues in different parts of the world right now. Like, YouTube itself is kind of down. I actually couldn't get on YouTube this morning here in the US. So, don't worry. If YouTube's not working, come over to Twitch, but it should be up for most people. Anyway, they both take the Dusk. With Dusk being perishable here, it's probably not going to make a huge difference score-wise or econ unless something specific shows up. Now, Obelisk is really interesting. Neato passing on Obelisk there, I get it, but I think at this point, with how many flushes they've played, I would be tempted to maybe try and build into Obelisk. You know, continue with the flushes and then play like a 2-pair later on. But thank you for all the follows. Thank you, Noodles, Slow Grimbo, Dark, and Frog. Gothic making a blue steel card. That is pretty big. Now with the telescope and the blue seal, these flush levels are going to get high fast, which again might be important just for winning the game. Oh, that stinks. The purple seal came right after for Neato. Yeah, if this seed continues to kind of give these two players these types of jokers, Gothic's going to be in a better position because I think Gothic's just in a better position from like a single player point of view. However, if there's some crazy econ, if we see things like a Sock or Chad photo, I think Neato may start to lean a little bit ahead. Again, the econ's a tiny bit better. The purple seal is a tiny bit better. Very interesting decision here. Do you deck manipulate? Do you take the money? I think it had to be the money for Neato. Understandable. Abstract giving some nice solid plus mult. Yeah, everything's been perishable. There's been no normal jokers. Huge fool here for Neato to get another $20. And then can continue building towards hearts, which again, there's no reason to be scared building towards a suit or using wild cards in multiplayer, because outside of Anti-1, there are no boss blinds. It is something that definitely changes the game, and I think specifically for things like wildcard, well, specifically wildcard itself, it makes it so much better. But Neato could start setting up flush houses soon here. Gothic will be in the same boat, but the thing is, if Neato is able to set up a flush house, and this is kind of what I mean with multiplayer difference. If you're able to set up a flush house and you have big scoring things like a Dusk photo, that immediately is going to surpass having a high level flush. It's not going to matter that you leveled up flush 10 times if you're on level 2 flush house. No. The percentages are the same. Twitch chat over here trying to gaslight you into thinking that it's all perishables. Neato tempted by the naked throwback, and naked has no Joker stickers, but it's just too costly to skip. First of all, in gold stake generally, but especially in multiplayer, you need to be able to see every single shop. There's a world where that kind of play works out, but the seed would have to continue to be just god awful. A note here is Neato is quite ahead in the shop, but I do believe Gothic's a blind behind, so it's fine. There has been a lot of suns, which again, you would say, okay, that helps Gothic and his flush, level 4 flush, has a blue seal, has a telescope. My argument would be, I just think it's going to turn into a flush house game, if not a flush 5 game soon. And now we gotta just wait for Gothic. If anybody wants to let Nino know that she's allowed to click that timer, that is the difference here in Major League Balatro Season 2. We are using the timer. Now here's the caveat. The timer, the first time it hits 0 on you, you do not lose a life. You only lose a life if the timer's already hit 0 on you once before. But the timer is allowed in Season 2. I had that change go hand in hand when the players voted for no calculators. Because the thing is, if we didn't allow for the timer and we're banning calculators, the reasonable thing to do would be to sit there for 3 hours and do all the math on your hand. Which is just, you know what I mean? I kind of felt like if the players wanted to ban calculators, that there has to be some way to kind of like enforce that, and that is by allowing for the timer. But again, the timer does not lose a life the first time it hits 0. It is there's not a best of 1. It is 3 games. So it's yeah. So we every single regular season game, every single regular season match will have 3 games. You get a point for every game win, and then you get a bonus point for winning the match 2-1 or 3-0. Gothic is so much better set up here. I don't think it's that far ahead. Having the sun card going into the blind is nice though. Yeah, it does seem to be a full perishable run. Let's unmute.
Yeah, this seed is weird. And everything just wants to die.
Everything just wants to die. That's a good way to put it.
There's not a lot of strong showings here, is there?
Not quite, not quite.
The steel card is where I think Gothic really is far ahead. Oh, okay. That hand is gonna be enough. Some bonus with the flush house. Now, does Gothic wait to do that with Dusk? Is my question. Gothic is not gonna wait for Dusk. And is also gonna go for the flush level instead of flush house level. So interesting. Not a bad. I'm not gonna say a bad play, but very interesting. I feel like I will take the 1 flush house level if I feel like I can build flush houses.
What I'm gonna get here.
Nito could play the 2 queens to get the clever Joker chips. I don't think it's gonna matter.
God is no longer with me. I was trying so hard, and yet so far in the end didn't even matter.
We are in the quoting Linkin Park stage of this gold stake.
That's alright though. We regain.
It's honestly going to be hard here for Nito to get out of the... Oh my god, telescope again. Vubi, I'm sorry you didn't know about the Fantasy League till now. I'll try and have a weekly prize for the top score, so there's still reason to play if you were unable to get unable to get the whole season. We'll give away a hat. The vouchers are desynced because Nito never grabbed telescope. So Gothic is on a different voucher queue. I do think Nito should steal a card before deathing it. Because then, I mean, if you have to play it, you have to play it. But you could also not have to play it. And then you have 2 steals. Yeah, not necessarily what I would have done there. But it's okay. I think Nito just realized, based off of the look. it's a lot of perishables. It's been said quite a few times in chat, and it's true. There's been a lot of perishable jokers this game, which is just brutal in, first of all, normal gold stake, but especially multiplayer, because it's unsettling. You can't build around something specific. This flush house is going to be much more than enough points, though. Will someone skip to preserve the perishable dusk? I'll be intrigued by that play. NEATO could maybe steal this PvP if they choose to do that, and Gothic didn't. The mime is probably going to lean more important for Gothic, considering Gothic's going to have 3 steel cards to NEATO's 1. I do think you have to grab it. And Gothic's going to continue just building into the normal flushes, which I think with this many planet cards that you're about to get kind of makes sense. Oh my gosh, there's more steel in that booster pack. Flush house level is fantastic though for NEATO. Again, chat, what I think could be the ultimate equalizer here, despite Gothic's huge flush levels, is flush house. If NEATO can get a few flush house levels, that flush house is going to be equal to the flushes. That's where I think, I mean, not that NEATO would know this, but I think that is where they could have the advantage in this game. Wait, they kind of cooked in the end and brought it back. Though, stuff like this can happen to you if you're NEATO, and you don't get any of your steals, you don't get the flush house, and you lose a life. Why did NEATO not play flush? I can't tell you why. I don't think it mattered at all, but I don't know why. So NEATO going for another flush house level. Now the flush houses are above Gothic's flushes. And NEATO has a little bit more money. That strength is huge for the flush houses for NEATO. Oh! The raised fist is really big because it's going to make Mime... It could double what the mult is going into Mime. I think you got to sell Abstract to get the raised fist. Oh no. I understand what NEATO didn't think it was that important. But that's one where you have to think about what your synergies are. Okay, we have Mime, so we care about Chariot cards. Well, if we care about Chariot cards, Raised Fist is really nice because it's giving you plus, 6 to 20 mult before those Chariot cards trigger. The Raised Fist would do nothing for Gothic because all of his steals are 2s. But the steals on NEATO's side, I believe, are mainly 9s, or I think they're all 9s. So worst case, it's the 18. Yeah, Fist was, it was just flat out better than Abstract, but more so than that, it was very important with the Mime synergy, in my opinion. Still, I think the difference here could be, well, first of all, a difference could be Gothic may not see the Mime because of Showman. Second of all, the difference could be the flush house. I've said it 2 trillion times. I'm sorry, chat. Gothic passed on the Mime? It's one of those things I wasn't even looking for it because I just assumed it would be an instant grab. Wow. Okay. Well, that puts Nito. If I think Nito's in a really good spot. Gothic getting Constellation, which in this type of run, in this type of PvP, I do think is a solid play, especially it's sellable. The rental's annoying, but it's sellable. But I do think if Nito can get a good draw here, maybe even just a solid draw, they should be able to take the life.
Your life, because it would be the most morbid thing ever for one of the players of the MLB to die while playing the MLB.
Yeah, dude, that would suck. It'd be kind of epic, though.
It's like while holding Mr. Bones, and Mr. Bones doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
Would Bones prevent me from dying in PvP?
Bones is not in
I don't think
Multiplayer
Bones is in
Balatro.
PvP. I think it's one of the ones that you can't get along
he's
with
banned.
Luchador
Yeah.
That makes sense.
and
Going back at
I was
NT.
gonna say Chico. That's not his name.
I wonder if it breaks the game or something.
It is Chico.
Try and use it.
Actually, Mr. Bones is how they're able to not have you lose the game when you lose a life. I think Nito maybe could have used the Empress even on that Queen of Heart. But it's fine. Okay, we almost have the flush house. Thank you for the follow, Wild. Okay, we have the flush house. Looking for... We need any kind of steal on Nito's side of things. No. Oh, I have almost Empress wild cards so many times. Smart play by Nito's going to search for the steal. Ah, so unlucky. We'll see if it's still enough. I don't believe it's gonna be.
Here's me. GG's, bro.
Oh
I
man,
shoot
even one
was getting
steal
left and right.
would have been really close. It wouldn't have been enough.
There was not a lot of great stuff in there.
But that was a
No.
not fun seed.
Yeah.
I think both of them played it.
That life lost too.
pretty well.
Literally, I was playing flush houses and I had 4 kings just in my deck waiting to be drawn, and they did not get drawn. And I was like, oh.
No, it was very close. If Nito, and what made that so interesting, if Nito pulls that out, I think the mime ends up being the massive difference between the two, and Nito
Playing flushes and
again
got
would
flushed
still
out level
need to
12.
continue to
Yeah.
get good
Well,
draws,
that was the move for me, but I was like, God, I don't want to.
but could have been it, could have won.
Yeah, I was at
But I
like
should've had.
$0, but then I also had
Smart, though.
discard something, get $5. So
Nice, very nice. Yeah, we're going kind of the same thing. I got to hit the emulate. It was really nice.
Raised fist would have been
I too hit the M8.
It was-
would not have been enough actually because we didn't see the steal.
All right, let's go again, shall we?
I think we shall.
I'm picking the stake. Let's take it down a little bit. Let's go to black stake.
You don't have to pick the stake. You can pick the stake or the deck. You just get to pick what you want to pick first.
Okay, yeah, the stake's fine then. We'll do black stake.
Okay. Black stake.
All right, taking it to black stake. Hey, one of my predictions for the preview came through. I said Nito would take it to black stake.
Oh my god,
That's-
take you.
I don't know. I'm down for wherever, except for. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Sebastian for all these clips they're grabbing for us.
Where would you go, Chad?
I didn't put this much time into these decisions before we started, and now I've just got decision paralysis.
Sometimes it's all about the vibe. Like, what do you think is gonna hit different right now? You just gotta choose. It's all luck.
If it's all on vibes, we'll do this. You said black stake, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Black stake,
Painted it.
deck. Black stake, painted deck.
Painted deck. Which was
The
painted deck?
real curveball. You have 4 Joker slots, but a 10-card hand.
Interesting. All right. Fair enough. Let's do it.
All right, I'll see you in 5 rounds.
See ya. Painted deck. Whose man is this?
I'm getting ready to post. Painted deck is really interesting. It is one of the 2 decks, in my opinion, outside of Ghost, that really lends itself to the Baron Mine build over your Idol build. Although I have won many of multiplayer games still going Idol on Painted deck. I think it is a mistake to be like, oh, well, you can't do the retrigger, photo chat, Idol stuff. You absolutely can on Painted deck. It's still very, very powerful. I also love Flower Pot for Painted deck. You have a large amount of cards in your hand at your disposal, which means that Full House is very viable for that Flower Pot. But on top of that, wild cards, as we talked about, wild cards have a huge buff in multiplayer because you don't have to deal with the PvPs that hit it. So you can play flush 5s that actually trigger Flower Pot rather reliably. At least I've had games like that. That ×3 molt so early on is awesome. And I do think if Gothic decides to pass up on it, NEATO is going to be in the driver's seat for that first PvP. It's one of those jokers that I feel like everyone dislikes, although you can use it in single player, but is actually legitimately good in multiplayer. And we see Gothic ending up taking it, which I do think is the smart play in the end. Oh, prediction. We got a... Okay, 1 second, chat. I will do the prediction here. Prediction. Choose outcome. Gothic takes the first game, and we're going to do start prediction. Who wins game 2? You love to see the banana with the flower pot. That is a sick combo. I think I personally pass up on everything there, and looks like NEATO is too. I maybe grab the king just to get a 5th king in my deck. But I don't want to go with the stone cards. And that could be wrong. That could be the difference. Maybe you can get a 4 of a kind with the stone for the first PvP. But if you're going to play a 5-card hand, you don't have a place to put that stone anywhere. Tori, thank you for the follow. Synergy with the scene double. I don't think you can afford to have the Eternal on Painted deck. I think that's what really makes Gothic's choice to go to Painted on Black Snake, because the only thing that Black Snake really kind of hits you is that internal decisions. And the eternal decisions are turned up a notch for sure with only 4 Joker spots. You really cannot afford to play around with one. I think if this was a different deck, I grab the Eternal Hallucination. I don't think you can do that here. You just cannot have a utility generator be in a Joker spot for the full game. Oh no, Sebastian lost connection. If somebody... Gothic is playing like Sizak, slow with precision. Big Sizak fans in this chat. Big Sizak fan. So I assume the banana went extinct here, or did NEATO sell the banana for scene double? Because I did miss that. I'm just trying to move everything around. NEATO sold it. So that is going to be a huge benefit for Gothic, is having that plus 15 mult. Just a little bit more economy was the difference.
Howdy.
Howdy, indeed.
Did you find yourself a nice tasty banana?
I did, dude, but I had to let him go because I was broke as hell and that's all I had to my name. And I needed something.
Oh, intriguing.
Also, thanks, Blake.
I honestly think the difference of having to sell that banana is twofold.
Maybe talk.
One, early PvP loss here for NEATO. But two, if Cavendish shows up later, it's really nice to just have that base times 3. I do think NEATO made the right play, though, because if you kept banana and Gothic, you know, has scene double and banana, that scene double, that times 2 scales with you. And since we're only on black stake, you're going to be able to probably min-max really heavily in this game. You're going to have a pretty darn good build where that times 2 is going to matter more than the 15.
I was looking for something. I eventually found one. I'm in my partner's computer in my partner's room in my partner's chair, and it's squeakier than mine is, and I'm so cognizant of every little noise it makes that it's going to pick up on the microphone and sound like I'm full of beans.
Nah, you're good. I did hear the squeak, but it's definitely like a distinct chair squeak. You're good.
Yeah, the banana is going to help Gothic's econ too, because one-shotting the blind is an extra $3 every single time.
No, don't worry. I call her back. She knows what I'm doing. I'll call her after. Call you after stream. Love you.
We got parents, partners, everyone messing with
hello.
Gothic Lord says hey. GG's.
All right, so Gothic's gonna take the first one.
GG's.
All right, so moving it back. You know, $18, $17, so now the econ has evened with that life loss. NEATO going to go ahead and go for it. The Arcana pack, I think that makes sense. I also think it makes sense to either strength something so we can start playing 5 of a kind. We can start playing maybe Flush House. Hanging a couple of cards, definitely not a bad move, and that's the move that NEATO is going to go with. I don't think there's great strength candidates there. I want to see 10s. I want to see queens. maybe a couple of 4s and you can make 5s, but the only thing that really shrank there would be jacks and the queens, and that's personally don't love building in the queens because you want to build in the jacks because you make the 10s in the jacks. Anyway. NEATO now looking for a diamond of some sort. Needs a jack to get that streak going. Dang, that's really annoying. Not even a club for the full house. But NEATO does have a discard, so. I feel speculative credit card is underrated. It's literally free. Well, it costs $1 if you don't sell it, but yeah. No, multiple Cavendishes I don't believe would break at the same time. Oh, 4 of a kind. There you go. But NEATO's going to choose to play the straight, which I get. May not even see the 4 of a kind. Eternal Holographic Splash. That seems interesting because it can really help with your flower pot. It can help with your scene double, and it's 10 flat molt. However, again, I think Black Stake is just too low of a stake to be giving away Eternal Joker slots. We'll see what our competitors decide to do here, though. They're both heavily debating it. And I get it. This is definitely a tough decision. Are they both going to... Oh, okay. So Gothic's going for it. So I think this does... If Gothic goes for it and NEATO decides no, I think this sets up a path where Gothic needs to 4-0. I would not have grabbed it. I would stay my course. A free juggler, because why not have more hand size? And also, interesting, Gothic skipped. Was there interest? Or investment voucher? There is an investment voucher. NEATO's going to play it out. NEATO's going to play it out, and I like that. I like being able to see one more shop. How many straights does NEATO need here? Oh, just one. Just need one with both the triggers. Awesome. Rough gem, quite a bit of econ. Although you're not going to be playing a ton of diamonds by themselves because of flower pot. If you make lots of wilds, it could come through. But you do need to play 7 diamonds just to get your money back on that purchase. Unfortunately, no straight or Saturn level for NEATO there. Wild card is probably very good. I would probably put on the King of Hearts. Well, if I'm gonna grab rough gem, I would put on the King of Hearts. But I assume NEATO's not gonna grab rough gem, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, Gothic definitely taking this PvP. Like I said, I think Gothic now, with taking that splash, needs to win in the first 4 antes. I think NEATO's set up longer term, just having those Joker spots more available.
Cruel game.
But we'll see.
Just wants to see us suffer.
It does.
As someone who's been gold stake streaking, I agree. The game does want to see you suffer. The game also wants to punish you for doing, like, literally anything even slightly wrong. Okay. Wild King is good there. Queen, Jack. Is that all of them? No, it needs a diamond. Oh, that's so annoying. You can go with a Jack of Hearts, and then you can go... Yeah, there you go.
Fortunately, some recent changes really
I'm sorry, I
streamlined
was trying to figure...
how much time I have to spend looking at all these cards, which is something I'm very grateful for.
That's good. That's good.
Regardless, Nino, again, there's just too much plus mult on the Gothic side, and Gothic's going to get the triggers every single time now. So, does it really matter what Nito plays here?
But I'm cooking. I swear.
What's on the menu? What you serving up later?
Also, Gothic's banana still hasn't left.
A whole lot of everything and nothing.
It's been a solid 5 rounds, right? Well, there was a skip. There was a skip in there.
I will save a plate.
Alrighty.
All right.
I'll see you.
Yep. GG's. Good luck.
A normal splash definitely can be slightly beneficial. Gothic obviously not seeing that splash, instead seeing the flush joker. And now Gothic is in a really good spot because that investment tag and being able to win was a good combo. Purple seal for Nito will be helpful here. Do we start the glass cards? So it looks like Nito's going to go for a tiny bit of money instead. One reroll, sees a droll joker. Right after Gothic got served the droll joker for having splash. Interesting that Gothic then didn't see the droll joker next. Gothic took the red seal. I think the red seal, when you're up on lives, is probably the correct play there. Well, I don't know. I really like my purples. So Nito here is going to need 2 straights, as we saw. Flash is one of the weak jokers I enjoy having. People call it weak, but it actually is quite powerful. It just, by itself, doesn't do anything. But Blueprint by itself doesn't do anything, so you know. And again, Gothic is going to consistently be able to get into that like 25k because of this current setup. And the banana's still there. Does this straight win? It does. So no purple seal value, unfortunately, for Nito. Does get a straight level, which helps in the blinds. It's not going to make a difference in PvP. Another purple seal. Now they're starting to kind of flow. It's flat molt, but it's not good flat molt. There with bootstraps. Dang. The banana's going to last another PvP. Nito bought and had to sell the banana to buy something else. I believe it was the scene double. And now Gothic's econ is snowballing quite a bit. Getting a purple seal value. Another Saturn level is honestly kind of maybe even important here, just not to lose a life to a blind. Losing a life to a blind would be devastating for Nito. Because again, Nito's decisions are more alongside the long game. Ooh, in a photograph that Gothic gets that I don't know if Nito's going to see because just so much more money on the Gothic side of things. And the photo splash is a great combination. Gothic took an investment. The foil Cloud9, yeah. It is a foil Cloud9. Ooh, Nito not deciding to open the Arcana first is going to hurt because not able to get the value out of the Hermit now. He could make a second Wild King. Well, yeah, unfortunately for Nito, that's not going to make up the difference. And now Gothic is a photograph ahead, which is pretty big. Luckily for Nito, there's no hand levels that are massive for Gothic. Or even, I don't even know if Gothic has almost any hand levels. The money will even out with the loss bonus, though. Yes, unmute.
Do be how it goes.
Yeah, so Nito would have benefited a lot more from the photo than Gothic is.
Your points have certainly come along.
You know, we're out here. We're making something out of nothing. We're picking ourselves
The
up
Glass King,
by the
though, is
bootstraps.
pretty nice.
So you've got 4 malts for every $5 you have.
Something like that. Something like that.
Nito is winning currently Gothic is winning 1 game to nothing over Nito. Yeah, it's just having that straight level has really mattered here. We'll see, though. The full house is going to get 12, 24, 34. Might be enough. It's going to be rather close. It's going to be 34
Don't go crazy on me now.
times
don't think it's gonna go that
105 times 3 times 3. Not enough.
A little crazy. We're a little crazy.
A smidge, but it wasn't worth it.
And this is, like I was mentioning, now this is really big for Nito. Because Nito's not tied down to the splash. What I will say is, it stinks that Gothic got the photo and Nito didn't. It's kind of like a trade-off. Yes, a Joker spot is kind of filled for Gothic that no one really needs at this point,
Yeah,
but
we got a game on our hands.
the photo is big. Being able to play, I think Nito played what? I mean, the juggler's helping. Nito's been able to play how many? I think I get rid of bootstraps and just put the supernova. Because juggler is again helping play every single hand as a full flower pot trigger. And also, now the comeback money didn't come, it is quite heavier on the Gothic side. I think smart play here by Nito, saving the money and going next. Straights are my favorite hand. I don't care the orientation of the hand. A hand's a hand. Gothic leaning now into that full house 4 of a kind. Makes a lot of sense. Ooh, a glass from the purple seal. That could be very, very good in the PvP. makes up for the photo diff at the moment. I believe NEATO only needs 1 straight, so NEATO could go fishing for the other purple seal if they choose to do so. Vagabond is really interesting. NEATO's going to see that Vagabond, and NEATO's going to have space for the Vagabond with the Juggler gone. Ooh, intriguing, intriguing, intriguing. Vampire, definitely not good enough. Planet Merchant's not something you want. The planet cards are just not good enough for it to matter. Now, do you take an Eternal? If I'm NEATO and I pass up on that Eternal Splash, I'm thinking, I've earned this. I can give this to myself. I said that you can't take Eternal utility jokers. And maybe, and you know what? Maybe NEATO's making the smart play. I'm a sucker. I'm going to grab that Vagabond every single time because I want to make more glass cards and such. What I will say is NEATO has purple seals. So it might have been the more disciplined decision to do exactly what NEATO just did. And interesting, I think NEATO's going to save the cherry in the glass for the PvP. Or I think there's no wrong decision here. You can argue it's important to save for the PvP to play it on the all your hands. But also, if you don't use them, you can't see them in the shop. Yeah, the purple seals have been fantastic. Eternal Mail and Rebate. That is the one utility joker. Absolutely, you can take a 10 out of 10 even on painted deck. NEATO is 1 reroll away from seeing those, though. I think the runner at this point, with how high the straights are for NEATO, runner's not going to do much. You'd have to play so many straights for it to matter. Unfortunately, no straight levels in this planet pack, though. Straight flush just in case, I guess. Alright, so NEATO's not going to see that Eternal Mail and Rebate, which is probably fine.
Here we go.
And we'll see what happens now.
That shopping trip was uneventful.
Yeah, it was big show for me as well.
Tower, not helpful whatsoever if we're playing straights. Alright, the first flower pot straight has hit the PvP, 41,000. Now I'm curious to see what Gothics look like. I think this full house of the Kings, Glass Ace, maybe some Hierophanted. Okay, Queens and Ace. I want to say is probably gets us into, you get to 16. We got 32, 42 times 2 times 3. 51,000. Just not going to be enough. As a consistency of being able to play with this flower pot and the seeing double with the straights is actually winning out. And now NEATO knows they don't even need to use their jack. Well, they don't know that for sure, because NEATO doesn't know if Gothic can replicate that 50k hand. Also, always punished. Gained the purple seal on the last one.
I don't know if this is going to be closer than I think it's going to be, or if you're just like waiting with something primed.
Yeah,
For
that's
when I
what's
leave,
going
I'll give you
on.
like 10 points. I'll get to like 8, 5, 6, 8, 2, and you'll be like, all right, I'll play another hand if I have to.
If I have to.
Can NEATO get a jack? They do.
Hoping for a miracle.
Well, NEATO does not have to play now. They can wait. I don't know if NEATO necessarily realized that.
Oh, you got one. Don't worry.
Got it.
Oh, no. And it broke is pretty brutal.
I ain't doubling
We
my
knew that
score.
was going to happen
No.
too, because Gothic's glass broke with the ace.
Cool. Alright.
All right.
Alright, moving on. We are now tied 2-2 on the lives. The paintbrush coming in for both of our members here. NEATO is going to go ahead and grab it, and I think NEATO probably just moves on to the next. Gothic's in a little bit of trouble here because Gothic's going to have to play multiple full houses or 4 of a kinds or something to hit the scoring requirement. Will Gothic move to flush houses? Shadow, I think that would be smart with the... Well, you can't really play flush houses with Flower Pot and Seeing Double until you get something else, right? Hello, Nib. We're doing well, we're doing well. Start of the Major League Balatro season. I would definitely use that purple seal. NEATO's at the point where they're still one-shine the blinds, so you can be a little bit risky. Holographic egg is a must-take. You're going to get money out of that, baby. You're going to get flat 10 molt. Quick questions, as one who doesn't really watch the competitor streamers. What are their pronouns? NEATO is she, her. Gothic is he, him. But I should get them to document all their pronouns. Because I have not officially asked. That is just what how I've referenced people, and no one's, or I've heard them reference themselves before. So much hand size, so little time. Oh, and Gothic actually isn't even going to see the egg. They just see the supernova because it was blocked on NEATO's end. Very interesting. That could have been a huge advantage for NEATO if NEATO was able or decided to pick it up. Lots of wild cards coming in for the Kings on NEATO, which is good to see. Though I don't know if you can pivot off the streets at this point. Yeah, you could. Is skipping a valid strategy? I don't think I would skip with Bean unless I had a metric ton of chariots, which neither competitor does. Bean only is going to really matter if you have a lot of in-hand scoring. Another straight level is very big. Shoot the moon is like almost tempting, but doesn't really matter. Pikmin, thank you for the follow. Alright, we're going in. I think NEATO again is still ahead.
Call you Tails because we are fast.
We are super fast. I want to be Knuckles.
Done deal.
I've always been a big Knuckles fan, personally. But I like the red one. I don't know.
Can you fly an airplane?
Maybe. Haven't tried.
You don't know till you fail.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
See what happens.
The Polychrome 7 is,
Sad news on tonight news, as Major League Balatro player has died in a plane crash.
We don't want to see that.
Balatro player attempts to fly a plane for the first time. People allow it to happen.
People allowed it to happen. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of safety things that went wrong if one of our players is flying.
Says, obviously, that was a bad idea.
Also, why you ask me about this? Oh yeah, I guess because.
How do you know where I live?
Right.
Oh, so Gothic's up to level 6 straights too. I did not notice that. I think that was a couple levels that time. So now that that photograph is really helping. Although the chariot on NEATO's side of things consistently will help. As a note. with that 1.5. Oh, no 10 for NEATO is rough there.
RNG is not my friend. Not today.
It was freaking killing me.
No 10 again. And Gothic's probably going to take this one. Oh, wait. There's still one more hand for NEATO. My apologies. Another no 10. Oh.
That's actually so cool. You're so right. RNG can.
It's going to be unfathomably close.
Potentially.
I don't. Does NEATO have levels in anything else? I am shocked that Gothic decided to play the 8 instead of waiting to see if NEATO had enough.
Oh man, no way. Yeah, you got me there.
Oh.
All right.
Couldn't find the one freaking card I needed.
Now NEATO's gonna go in with quite a bit more money.
Sunflower pot gameplay.
Me too, Shmony. Also, thank you for the 3 months. We will get you a wheel spin after. Yes, Gothic has his hands flipped because he doesn't like us. And he wants us to be in pain. Yeah, the having 2 10s in the last 8 cards. No, the Eternal Chad. Oh, that's GG for NEATO unless photo comes up. That is the game. Or glass. You know, there are things here that could benefit NEATO. But I don't think we skip for that juggle tag. Hello, Perry. NEATO definitely needs more shops. Yeah, NEATO is one reroll away from seeing the photo. I'm glad NEATO decided to play it out. So now, I mean, there's still a chance NEATO can come through and win. There's also a very, 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 very tiny chance that Supernova blocked into an Eternal Chad for NEATO. That would be a godsend. I don't think that is what happened, but it's possible. And yeah, that's not what happened. So, we need a NEATO miracle. We need to see photo. We need to see maybe ancient. Something's got to show. Otherwise, it is just pretty much GG's. When did Gothic get level 7 straight? It's in the middle of an ad roll. I believe just leveling it up was able to get... I don't know if Gothic Just got lucky on a few rolls in a row. Yep, put the lucky first. Let's see if maybe money could help. No money. Never lucky. Alright, well, there's Dusk now for Gothic. The thing is, because NEATO doesn't have photo, they might not take Dusk anyway. Even though this is where the difference of the fact that Gothic is dealing with Splash would benefit NEATO. You know, you sell Supernova here, you grab Dusk. No photo. So it doesn't really matter unless the huge play here is if NEATO can get any kind of glass cards. Then Dusk and Chad can help even out photo. The polychrome is definitely beneficial for Gothic. I don't think we have that polychrome on NEATO's side of things. Making a quick post about game 1. They're still deciding. This is perfect. It's gonna be time to post. And I think NEATO makes the decision that NEATO had to make and grab the glass. Or grab the Dusk and hope you find glass. Excuse me. And NEATO here also making the smart play, throwing away hands, looking for the purple seals. I think NEATO knows exactly what they need to get at this point, which is great. I think if I'm Gothic, I still throw away the flower pot for Dusk, but we'll see the decision Gothic makes. That actually could maybe hurt Gothic. I doubt it, but it maybe could. NEATO also kind of throwing away hands to get to Dusk, right? All right, can we get a purple seal? Well, we get the gold seal, which is nice. Oh, I would definitely use the discard to get the purple. Get the plus 20 molt, but nothing there on the money side of things. Is a little stinky. A chariot is very nice. Raise fist, you could. Shortcut, nah. I would use the chariot and then fool for a second chariot here. You know, NEATO really needs the scoring. You could argue it's the hangman. Going for lucky cards. I think that plays the smart play if I'm not on 1 life. I think that being on 1 life, lucky cards, while they can help your scoring, I think lucky cards are actually more beneficial as a money generator. And right now,
the deep needs of luck.
well, again, NEATO doesn't
okay,
realize that
definitely
Gothic has a photo because the scores have been so close. So I think NEATO's going to be quite surprised to see the score that Gothic's about to put up, unfortunately.
See if I make my stop.
Right, I'll start with. I think this is reasonably small.
Because if you're NEATO, you have no reason to believe that Gothic has something you don't.
Oh yeah, that's not colossal, is it?
Not quite. You have a trick up your sleeve.
I also think that maybe playing multiple streets is still the play, even with the Dusk, because there's no huge benefit in Dusk right now for NEATO. If they can get every lucky hit in Prey, yeah, I mean that's valid. We could also get very, very lucky here with the purple seals. We could get glass. We could get more chariots. Those are the two things, or death. Those are the three things. We got another chariot on NEATO's side, so I don't know if that's enough. It's gonna be a good score, and the lucky procs hopefully will go crazy. We'll see.
Okay. This will be my best hand, potentially.
You know, but Gothic still has a lot in the chamber here.
He holds his breath.
We got one. Only
It's a
one
long
is
one.
brutal. That's not going to be enough.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know a little secret. I've seen half of my deck and not a single diamond has appeared,
Oh boy.
which is statistically unlikely.
It is statistically unlikely.
There's still time.
I mean, technically yes, but I just discarded another 5 cards and still not a diamond.
I'm hacking.
Okay, he has found a diamond.
And that is the round over.
Oh my god, I can't play a diamond and a spade if they're both 9s. What is happening?
Are you on that flower pot grind?
I don't think Gothic
I don't
even
know if
needs
I'll
Flower
grind
Pot. I
for
think it's
beginning.
GG
Yes.
regardless, but
Yep. It was just faded because we're on painted deck. I was like, guess we're going flower pot.
Oh, you went flower pot too.
Yes, sir.
I thought I was the only flower pot stand around here.
No, you know what I said?
there's still a lot
If
of
there's any
discards
deck
left
to do
for
And
Gothic, and the game's over
was a-
here.
Eternal, so I was like, we'll see where it goes.
My lucky card procced.
The whole difference there's the photo.
Oh my god, dude. Bro, what the frick? I was like, wait, what happened? And then I forgot you had one for, you were waiting for that one card. You got it though. You got the card.
I found a diamond.
G freaking G's, dude. You
Well,
deserve to
we
win.
still are going to remember Major
Photograph?
League Balatro Season
no,
2.
I have no
We
idea
play
what you
3
found, bro.
games regardless.
Oh. Oh, grateful for his
Probably
face
in a
showing up.
pack. Yeah, right, probably in a pack, or maybe perhaps re-rolling.
Oh,
Who
not
knows?
Andre coming in here with this plasma
Of course it was just
commentary.
See
photo chat.
the-
Of course.
It was. Did you see the eternal splash?
I did, and I almost grabbed that. I almost did, and I was like, no, it's not good enough. But then
It
yeah,
wasn't.
It, like,
It
Kept me
did.
alive through like the
It
small
was
blind and
not
big blinds where, like,
beneficial for
the
Gothic
scores were
outside of
getting on.
Anti 1.
But then, like, once my straights were at like level 7 or whatever they're at, it was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
fine. I don't need this.
Yeah, I just needed like one justice card, get some glass going, and I would have just destroyed you, bro. But it wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, I think the 2 rounds that you beat me, I used the only glass cards that I found, and they broke both times.
Nice, nice.
So I don't know what you were doing to like accelerate past in those rounds.
I was. What was I doing? I guess the supernova kept hitting, and also I had some lucky cards, and then I got Dusk eventually. Leveled up my straight pretty heavily, so
Very good.
Yup.
Right.
kind of same.
We are destined to play one more per the new rules.
Oh, is there new rules?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so all games we're playing all 3 matches to make sure that we have more specific point divides in the final end of week 7 chart, so that we don't have to do a round robin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm down. I'm down to play another one. I definitely
Yeah,
clocked out, like
good.
my brain, but I'm clocking back in. I'm clocking back in.
I mean, the other option is you just concede the point, but I don't think anybody watching wants that.
No, that I can't do that. I'll have to play again. I will take a quick break. I'm gonna use the restroom, and then
Sure, you go right ahead.
we will re.
All right, chat. If Nito's taking a break, we're gonna take a quick break, cause your boy. Your boy gotta go to the bathroom. Thank you for the follow.
Or the end of week 7 when we go to the league numbers.
Very nice.
All right, Ghost Deck, Gold Stake, Game 3. Good luck. I will see you in 5 rounds.
Good luck, man. See you there.
Cheers.
Cheers. He's so cool. All right. Where's my head at?
All right, we're on Gold Stake Ghost Deck. Ah, the beer back. A very fun combination. And I think they both played the Gold Stake well the first game, so I'm glad to be going back to it. Getting back to, you gotta do your Balatro basics when it's Gold Stake. Also, something you'll see some people do is sell the hex for interest. I'm not selling the hex for interest. I am using that hex on a Joker, especially on Gold Stake, and especially in multiplayer, due to the PvP. Just quickly downloading the Game 2 results. Oh, the dice. I think I hex a dice here. Dr. Spectre lets him know how he feels. I hex the dice here, and I look for lucky cards. I can't resist. I want to play with 8-ball. I want to play with reserve parking. Is that the correct decision? I have no idea. I feel like the ice cream is unattainable, so who cares? Hex dice means no glass non-drate until I sell the dice later on in the game, once I have millions of dollars in a perfectly fit deck. Slightly punished, but you couldn't buy both, so it's not a huge deal. And the reason I say slightly punished is, imagine if you had, you can't use your hex now because it's already hollow, but I think you're fine with that. But what you can do is the exact play that Gothic's doing. You just buy the normal dice, you sell the hex, and now you're getting guaranteed business card value every single time. The thing is, NEATO needed 2 hands to win in the small blind. It's now going to snowball into a massive economic difference that I don't want to say it's going to decide the game, but it's really, really brutal. Yeah, Doctor, it is looking pretty good right now. Yes, we will do the prediction. Yeah, it's unfortunate that that small of a difference. I hate when the small blind matters. That's why I personally love playing on yellow deck, because two-shotting the small blind is not always skill-based. It is just luck of the draw, and it is deciding a lot already in this game. So Gothic won Game 2. Who wins Game 3? Gothic, NEATO. Got a 5-minute, and we will start the prediction. Man, Gothic is in a silly good spot right now. It really stinks because it's, I don't want to say it's not fair again, but having the dice is so huge, and then having the dice with the business card is also huge. A lot of huge things. Dice does kill glass. The thing is, you don't need to keep dice once you get to that stage of the game. If there's a lot of early glass on this seed, it could be beneficial for NEATO. Going to quickly do a couple of posts. Man, there is no respect from either of these players on Raised Fist. That's what I'll say. Oh. Maybe I stand corrected. I think Gothic is going to get it. But Raised Fist is a very good Joker. Especially, in my opinion, in multiplayer, because you can build into those chariots, and Raised Fist is now doing even more. Almost done posting. Done. But I mean, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but this econ difference is just, this is very similar to if those remember, last year I played Dr. Spectred in the round robin play-in, and he was able to afford a Midas Mask that I couldn't based off of how we approached the small blind. And it's giving shades of that, where this isn't even like the order would fix this. This is just pure, you discarded the wrong, you went for the wrong flush in the small blind of ante 1, and the game is kind of almost already over because that $1 or $2 means you didn't grab something specific. It just stinks. No, I don't think NEATO's giving up. I think NEATO is just chilling.
What's up?
Okay. Not
Love
much.
the energy.
I'm throwing all the carrot to the wind here.
Hey, if business cards get hit like that, though, maybe it won't matter. That was pretty nice.
Just so few decisions to make right now.
Right, exactly. I understand. But still.
Thank you, StaffX, for the 2 months. Wheel spin you after the game. Yo, if it's a negative blueprint shadow, be pretty sick.
Big G's.
GG's?
So yeah, that blind was determined by negative reserve parking would be a lot better if NEATO had the dice. Oh man. Gothic could maybe afford to get rid of halvesies for that reserved. I mean, it should be a net positive for NEATO here. All in all. I don't think it's going to even out the economy, but it definitely can help. NEATO didn't take it. Oh, no. I think you get the $3. Or I guess you just buy and sell it for $1. I get it. I guess if you're playing your face cards, you don't want to do that, but... Yeah, I don't... I am shocked that Gothic did not take it with the oops. Maybe, I mean, it's one of those things you may just forget that you have the oops. And there you go, a difference of $6 because Gothic's is going to be guaranteed to hit. There's a Mystic Summit that can help replace the Halvesies Joker or Smeared, but NEATO deciding to go with neither there. A nice Death Magician combo. Unfortunately, once again, with the dice difference, that's going to be much more beneficial and once again snowball for Gothic. There are ways for NEATO to come back in this, but it's going to be creative. It's going to have to be a little creative. Yeah, the econ on Gothic side is going to go legitimately, no pun intended, to the actual moon. AMCG. Yeah, call me. What is that guy's name? Redkin? Red, whatever the guy's name is. Wall Street Bets or whatever the heck. Unlocked flush house for Gothic and just a buttload of money. Deep effing value. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, it really stinks when it's money that's the difference. Like, if it was Ante 1 and Gothic was able to afford, let's say, a Bloodstone that NEATO didn't, like, it still can get really interesting there. But with Gothic just having more money, it's really hard for NEATO to ever see something different to diverge paths to return in this game. Still not convinced that wasn't Doc? Well, Doctor fucking value. It's, it's all coming together. Red Seal King for NEATO could be the ticket. Oh no, the drink exploded. Nothing's going right. Not the Diet Coke. I feel like you gotta take the family. Interesting that Gothic didn't even think about the ectoplasm with this much money. You could sell. I feel like you could sell the duo for trading card here. But if you want to do the family, if you want to do the family, I feel like it makes a lot of sense. No reroll voucher for NEATO, which again, more econ difference. Thank you for the follow, Jade. Yeah, the 2 rentals don't matter at all. All right.
Just kidding. All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Fancy
Grebo,
seeing
thank you for the
here.
follow.
Right. Back.
Is your swirly background in my boss blind color?
It's green.
Yours is green. Did you pick
Interesting.
Serpent as your
I did
thing?
pick Serpent.
That's the one I'm seeing.
Interesting. So it's just showing you mine. Maybe because you are the host of the lobby.
Maybe.
No, it's correct. They just both chose green. Okay. But yes, you get to choose your boss blind color for your PvP. It's really cool now. Nito can play more than 3 cards. There's no more halvesies.
For a second, I forgot we were on a completely different game and not still playing the previous game we were playing.
Right? I had to, like, whenever I get into a new game, okay, lock out. Forget everything you knew. It's a new game. No straights, no flower pot.
That's gonna be no lucky proc for Gothic, but it's probably not gonna matter. Yeah, that could have been. That's unfortunate. It could have been enough.
All right, happy shopping.
Happy shopping.
I thought Gothic would have got the lucky proc there, but maybe he got it earlier. I think we got to get rid of Smeared on Nito's side for maybe Chaos. But again, how much does it matter? Gothic's money's gonna come back regardless. Do you have any thoughts on Gothic faking the UK accent? Look, as the commissioner, that's not my place. That's more for the Players Association to comment on, the Players Union. You know, these are just allegations at this time. All right. I mean, what is there to comment on at this point? Again, for those who maybe that's so unfortunate that it hit. The judgment hit a photo for Nito too. Oh man, if that Ecto would not have hit. I mean, if Nito's gonna do a flush house build, maybe the Smeared can come into play. Only do it. Yeah. Nandre started the union. Negotiating with Nandre, he drives a hard bargain. That photo's really great. Now if a Chad pops up, Nito can get back into it. We needed a big play like that on Nito's side to kind of even out the econ diff. Well, as I was saying, if you're joining, you're a little confused. Ante 1, there was a way to get the business card and the dice, but you need to one-shot the small blind. Nito didn't, just because of bad luck in the draw. I don't think she she just went after a different suit than Gothic. So Gothic got dice and business card. That snowballs, especially if it's happening in the small blind of Ante 1, into a huge economic difference. Also, you're going to see it affect luckies for score and luckies for money on top of that economic difference. So Gothic is just so far ahead, unfortunately, really just due to a little bit of luck. But talking about a little bit of luck gain, photo from a judgment is massive on Nito's side of things. The ectoplasm Smeared just doesn't feel like it's going to come into play too much, though. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, the less hand size also makes it really hard to play the flush house that I thought Nito maybe was going for originally. Or maybe flush 5. Put the red seal first. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. The points are going to score regardless, but. The family equals photo here. That's a good point, Shadow. That's a good point. We would need a Chad. And nothing there worth grabbing. Gothic is winning this match 2-0. So Gothic has already secured the bonus point for the match win, but we do play all 3 games every match this season. So there's one more point up to grab in this one. And he uses one more judgment and sees Chad. Yeah, exactly. That's all we need. A small little gift. It's a big 3 of a kind for NEATO. Now need more kings. Otherwise, this game is... that could be enough if we get a lucky proc. There we go. 2 lucky procs. Can I unmute Gothic? I can't. I can't unmute him until the PvP. Them the rules. Again, I negotiated that with Nandre. He didn't want comms in between the PvP. Too much strategy being given away there. I also apparently have to supply donuts on every Sunday morning. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
I'll take the leftovers from the
Here
lane.
we
They were
go.
gone the next day. We had like 30 leftovers between like 15 people, and they were gone.
See if I can turn things around.
I only got to eat 1 leftover donut. I will get more donuts though.
Well, my 770 points says you have a chance.
Ooh.
Well, it's gonna be a big score for Gothic. The red seal is really nice though for NEATO in the long term.
Oh. You're hustling me.
Oh, it's interesting that Gothic keeps not drawing it.
Nice.
Oh, speedy.
Nope, get me out of here.
Alright, we just need to see a Chad. It could change everything. Also, again, NEATO has that negative smeared. I think you gotta play into it a bit and look for the... I mean, flush... I've said it enough times. Flush house, flush 5, something. Because you really gotta look to get something out of that, in my opinion. NEATO was doing 3 of a kind. A wild is good. Let's see. We got some more luckies. Doesn't Chad work differently in multiplayer? Only in ranked play. We're playing vanilla rule set. See what... no Jumbo Buffoon. Yes. Gothic's stuff is on the other side because he's British. That is exactly why. I think NEATO needs to go for a bigger hand than 3 of a kind. Ooh, that's not good. I think this might be GG's. Well, that is the game. I have to refute this. Yeah, no, Benji, it's just a Gothic thing. Flush? That's true, we do have smeared. I don't think the flush is enough, though.
I was already locked
No.
out. I also was making some silly choices because I was like, this is gonna get him. He's not gonna know what's going on. I hit the ectoplasm just so I could hit a judgment, and I got a photograph out of it. I was like, yo, but then I couldn't do anything with it. But that's on me. I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends. But now that
Oh,
the
I
league has
see,
started
that
back up,
practice.
yeah. Well, now the league started back up. It's time to lock in. Get serious. Play Balatro
Like, our
everywhere
decks
I
were
go.
in very similar directions.
I was just playing a little bit too loose cannon.
I think
And
overall,
sometimes you gotta if
NEATO,
you
there
wanna
was
take
very
risks.
minor
Yeah,
differences
yeah.
in those
It's
games.
fun for me.
I don't
Because
think
sometimes it works
that
out, and then
any
it's like
of the
piece together.
multiplayer people need to coach anybody, nor do
Well,
I think
season
those
3,
comments are
maybe
necessary
we'll
in
see
chat.
each other again,
So.
and you can have that huge comeback arc.
Oh, true, true. Yeah, it's gonna take me a couple seasons, but I'm gonna blow everybody away. You wait.
I cannot wait for it. Well, thank you ever so much for the good games.
Of course, yeah. Every time it's fun. So
And if you need any help or questions on anything else before your week 2, you're always welcome to throw
yeah.
yourself into
I
my
might have
DMs.
to I might have to get another scrim in. I'm playing Rarin. Gonna be scary. to say the least.
That is our featured match next
the,
week too.
The new faces, I have no idea about much of any of what's going on with those guys, so that's going to be a
Yeah.
hoot.
He's just another raffle, so like his brain is like built to play card games.
Ah.
Yeah, Hearthstone guy. So
Oh, right, yeah.
it'll be
Classic.
good.
He's a
It'll be
Hearthstone guy.
good. But good luck with the rest of your MLB matches, and I'll catch you later. I'll hit you.
All right, chat. That is game 1 of, or match 1 of